Hi guys, I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you're staying safe. Now that the boys' room is done, I transitioned into their sister's room to get her room also edited, cleaned up, organized, whatever the case may be. The baby's room was a lot more simple to do. She's only 2.5, so she has not been accumulating toys for the last 6.5 years. She's only been accumulating them for the last 2.5. But don't get me wrong, she has accumulated quite a bit. Just like the boys' room, I started by getting everything out of the room to really have an idea of what I was working with. Aside from her bed, her dresser, one of her cabinet areas in the closet, and her dollhouse, I pretty much took everything out to get it off the floor. I started by reorganizing her books. So the boys are obviously have been learning to read, and they do still read a lot of books, but they do a lot of books online, and therefore they don't really have a need for a reading nook in their room anymore, even though they do read to their sister and read in general. I was gonna try to use a different setup in her room other than the one that I had made for the boys that migrated to her room about a year ago, and it didn't work. So I ended up having to put back in there the crate boxes that I've used for a very long time. I did, however, as the home edit will tell you, organize the books by color. This is the first time that I did that, and it was very satisfying to separate them by color and get them up there. It is, as you can see, it's so much prettier, and it just looks very beautiful as a rainbow. And I think it will actually be easier for the kids to put the books back, because as it stands now, in the event that they have to go put a book away, they just kind of shove it where it can go, or they think that it can fit. And now, because it'll be color coded, they'll know to put it back with the red, with the blue, the green, the purple, whatever the color is that it's coded for. So I was really excited about that. The story time blocks that are up on the top of that, I made those for the boys' room, I don't know, 4 years ago. With my Cricut, which is also what I used to make the labels for the boys' room and for the baby's room and her boxes. But once I got that done, it was really a matter of organizing the cloth bins that she has. We were fortunate enough to inherit that furniture piece and that structure from a friend who was moving. And then on Amazon, I ordered the cloth boxes that were 13 by 13 and fit in there perfectly. It took me a long time to organize those bins, and they overflowed a lot faster than I anticipated. I brought from the boys' room their toy chest that they had. I wanted to get rid of that because it took up a lot of room, especially with their loft beds. But inside that was a lot of their dress-up clothes that they still fit, some that they're growing into, and then the ones that are being passed down to the baby. So because of that, and because my kids love to play dress up, they had 20 different hats, 50 different masks, all these different dress up costumes, different capes and things. So I did utilize the baby's room in order to organize those, and I did my best. It wasn't as seamless as I anticipated. Like I said, it added up way faster than I anticipated, but ultimately I was able to get them all in there and then keep her dolls separate, her plush dolls, if you will, and her larger baby dolls into one of those containers, as well as a bin for all the accessories. So my daughter, of course, dresses up as princesses, and there's a lot of accessories and jewelry and shoes and all of that goes along with that. Okay, so as you guys can see, these bins filled up really quickly. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 bins total. I brought all of the dress up gear, if you will, masks, accessories, clothes, capes, all of the above, from the boys' toy chest into the baby's room, since she had these bins and they weren't really being utilized. I was gonna make a mask bin and an accessories bin, but they just filled up way faster than anticipated. So I pretty much put all the princess and capes in one, backpacks in one, the fancier stuff in one, and all of the costumes in these two here, aside with some of the accessories that had to be added. I took everything out of the closet, started to kind of put things in these little bins until I can get them exactly where I want. And I did end up reorganizing the books, color coded as I have been told. It's just easier for the kids to put back. So I'm happy to try that and see how it works out. So hope you guys continue watching. The bins did work out well. They were a little more challenging than anticipated. The baby has bigger Legos that she plays with herself. Those continue to stay and stayed in a home up there. I did remove all of the cloth boxes that I had in the shelving units for the baby's closet. They were very messy and things were kind of just thrown in there. So I cleaned those out and I separated the things that are stay in the baby's room. And one of the things in the bins that stay up there were a lot of the hygiene products. So because our bathrooms are smaller in Southern California, usually when I do the baby's hair or her brother's hair, I do it in her room. So it's easier to have the brushes in there, some of the hygiene hair products that we use, the hair ties and things like that. I separated those into little shoe boxes and labeled them appropriately. She received a dollhouse from Santa this last Christmas and a lot of Barbie accessories, including the helicopter, the convertible, the tractor, and some of the bigger pieces. I did utilize a big tub for that to label it as Barbies and put everything in there along with the Barbie accessories to keep them separate. She also has her tea sets and all her little people. And those are the toys that she plays with obviously a little more often than her brothers because they are a little bit for younger children. And still with her room, a lot was donated. Some of the puzzles and things, again, that we don't use too often. And we just, tried to minimize the things that we kept and that we really do use on a regular basis and really let other families, be able to take advantage of the things that we don't. The kids were really happy to do that, but I did not utilize her closet to hang any of her things aside from some of her coats and her larger sweaters. It does tend to be easier with smaller clothes, and my personal preference to have them in a drawer. As much as I would like to see them, it's just not very practical. Ultimately, her room turned out great, just like the kids. It was a lot easier to put everything in bins, shouldn't have as much, and it hadn't been accumulated as long, but it did turn out just as nice with the labels, with the bins. Everything's organized, allows us to keep everything up off the floors, up on shelves, in drawers, in places that they belong, and still let them be functional. And so I'm really happy and pleased with that. She also has her bean bag, just like her brother's, which doesn't actually have any beans in it. It is simply a bean bag that houses stuffed animals, which is a beyond brilliant idea. I got those off of Amazon, and the kids just had so many stuffed animals. It was nice to have an opportunity to throw them in there, so we'd have to get rid of all of them because they of course have their favorites, but it allowed us to not get rid of them, put them in there, and then them still have a safe space where they can play and sit down and have their own little lounge space. So this is my baby's room. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it inspires you, maybe like the boys' room did. It gives you hope that there is a way to organize your life and organize your kids' rooms and still be functional and happy with the process and not feel just overwhelmed as a parent or as a mom or as a guardian, whatever you are, or whatever the case may be. It does feel great to have the kids' rooms so organized, so clean, and I'm hoping that if we come back in a couple of months and check on the progress that we're still living in this system, that we're working with it, it's still a viable system for us and something that we've been able to maintain. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this inspires you. I hope that you continue to spend time with your loved ones. Stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.